everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mary and on this channel I talk a lot about motherhood. I share with my life in Germany with you, and I do a lot of cleaning motivational videos and a bunch of other fun things. And now I started opening up a little bit, and in my last video I talked about our infertility journey. I talked about the treatment we are going through, because if you don't know, we're starting thinking about baby number 2. Until now we had a lot of failures, but we are doing Icsi treatment, and now we're starting our third cycle with the Icsi treatment, and I talked about that in my last video, so I will leave the link down here somewhere here up so you can look it up. And I thought in this video I will talk about costs for a treatment like this. It's IVF or Icsi treatment in Germany, because I know a lot of my viewers are from Germany, and German health system has been always so strong that a lot of people abroad, when they get some kind of health issues, they always think about coming to Germany. And I thought this video can help some people to have at least a general understanding with which cost they are going to be dealing with if they're planning a treatment like this in Germany. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. In the beginning of this video, I want to say that I'm not a doctor and I don't know your case, and depending which case you have, this cost may vary for you and may be different for you as it was for us. And in Germany, I always say it's so diverse and different, and depending from the city you take, like the region you choose or the clinic you choose, costs are going to be different again. The other issue is the health insurance. So if you're coming from abroad and you are planning to do a fertility treatment in Germany, then you're on your own, you have to pay everything yourself. But if you are a German citizen or you have this unlimited residence permit, then you are in a very good side, because you can get help of your health insurance. Now let's talk about people who are either citizens or have residence permit here. Now there are two options. If you are not married, then unfortunately you have to pay this whole treatment yourself. It is like that. But if you are a married couple, then there are a lot of options for you, and they are very good, because health insurance, I told you before that everyone in Germany has a health insurance, and some people thought that it is like a free health care system, but it is not like that. It's not for free. We all pay for our insurance every single month, and depending how much your salary is, you may pay more or less. It just, if you don't have any job or your income is low, then the state will help you. That's the difference. And insurance here is a must. Every single person has to have a health insurance. So if you are a couple who was diagnosed with infertility and you're going to a clinic, then you have to run tests with your clinic, and they will tell you all about your treatment, how it is going to be. So the next step you have to write this whole treatment plan to your insurance company. The good thing is most of the insurance companies pay at least 50% of the whole cost, which is so great. When we started with our baby number 1, who turned out to be our little girl Audrey, back then we were by another insurance company and we had to pay 50% from the whole treatment. But at that time, I remember in Germany there is this insurance company called AOK, which everyone knows. AOK back then, I'm sure they paid 100% of the treatment. And that was great. After our first baby, we changed our insurance companies, we turned to AOK, and then by the time we did that, AOK started paying only 50%. So if you are buying an insurance company, at least 50% of your costs are going to be covered. But AOK has another plus, and don't think that I'm kind of sponsored from AOK, because I'm not, but I know that AOK is one of the best insurance companies in Germany that you can have, because they help families a lot. AOK has another option. It is called AOK Plus or Plus, and AOK Plus will help you with another 25% for your cycle. So which means in total it will be 75% of the cost of one cycle, which is great because you have to pay for another 25%. Now, why I said the region? There are or region or Bundesländer. There are Bundesländer like Saxony, where I live, which are very family friendly and family concentrated. And state Bundesland Sachsen helps families as well when they are going through this treatment. And I think for this cycle we got from that, I don't know how they count it or how many percent they do, but they gave us around 400 euro budget as well, which is again such a great help, because US this treatment is expensive. One thing that I have to mention, almost all health insurances pay only 3 cycles. So after 3rd cycle you are again on your own and you have to pay everything again yourself. Let me explain to you what 1 cycle means. 1 cycle means all the tests that the clinic is going to run to diagnose you with infertility and write a treatment plan for you. And of course the ultrasounds are included as well. 1 cycle means the hormonal therapy that you will go through to produce eggs. 1 cycle means the first surgery that the eggs will be collected, the fertilization of the eggs, and the first transfer. And if you're under 35, then the clinic prefers to transfer only 2 embryos, and if you are more than 35, then they will go with 3 embryos. So this is 1 cycle, and insurance pays half, like 50% of 1 cycle, and afterwards, and in total insurance pays only for 3 cycles, and after the 3rd cycle you're on your own. But let's say from 1 cycle you got more than 2 or 3 embryos and you transferred but nothing happened. What are your options? If you have more eggs, it is of course preferable if you freeze them. It will be very clever from you, and the clinic prefers as well, because you don't want to go through the whole hormonal therapy over and over again. It's not good for your body, it's not good for your mental health, so it's better that you freeze. But unfortunately this is counted to be as a private wish, and you have to pay for that yourself. And this is this cryo cycle that I talked about in my previous video, and the transfer is called cryo transfer. Let me go back again and start with the test that the clinic is going to run. So they have basic tests, and the insurance will cover that, but there are tests that are exceptional, and it is private thing to decide if you want them or not. In my case, this cycle, we decided to make a biopsy test, which is basically taking a tissue from a uterus and checking if it has inflammation or any kind of problem, because I had 3 miscarriages before. So I had to pay for this test myself. The insurance did not cover that. But the rest of the tests and the ultrasound were completely covered from the insurance. The next things are the hormones. And I remember when we were in our old company, we paid really around 500 or 600 euros for the hormones. This time around, I was very surprised, because as the AOK pays almost 75% of the costs, I had to pay only 250 euros or something, which is very great. But of course this will be so different for each couple, because if you have more medications you have to pay of course a lot more. If you have different kinds of insurance you have to pay a lot more, and or if you need the medication longer than I will, you will have to pay again more. So for this moment I paid only 250 euro for everything that I need, but this may differ during my cycle. If we see that my body does not build the eggs as fast as we need, then we are going to need of course more medications, then I will pay again. That's why it is like different for each woman or each couple, and I can't tell you exact amount. And the first transfer and the ultrasounds and the small surgery will be covered completely from the insurance. But now we come to the cryo procedure. So if in this cycle, if I get more than 2-3 embryos, then we are going to freeze them, and it means that every 3 months, like Germany does it like that, you pay for the 3 months and then you prolong it if you need it. So depending how many embryos you had and how long you want to freeze the embryos, this price will vary as well. And from clinic to clinic, the approximate price is from 200 and 500 euros. So we will pay around that much money. Our clinic will write us down like how much is it exactly, somewhere in the middle probably. We will pay for each 3 months, and we will prolong and every single time we can prolong for 3 months, and we will pay that sum of money, and in the end we will, like, I can't tell you how much we are going to pay. Last time we had to pay for 1.5 years. Because we had a lot of embryos, and it took us 1.5 years to be finished with them, to go through them. So this time around we don't know, and depending how long you're gonna need, this will be different as well. And then when you go to cryotransfer, the ultrasounds are normally paid. We never paid for an ultrasound in my clinic. Probably it was just covered from my insurance, but the transfer is again like around 350 euros every single time when we do a transfer. And here as well you can do a basic transfer, but there are some procedures that the clinic suggests. For example, if you are over 35, that the clinic will offer you to do hatching, a procedure called hatching, when they are cracking the first layer of the embryo to make the embryo, like to make it easier for the embryo to grow, and it higher the chances of the pregnancy a little bit more, I think for 10% or something like that, and it is actually advised if you are over 35. So this is again extra cost that you are going to be facing. Or there is a procedure called prolonged verlängerte Kultur, like cultivation, prolonged cultivation, which means they take 3 or 4 frozen embryos out, and then they cultivate them a little bit longer than they normally will do, around 5 days. They keep an eye on them, how they develop and things, so they don't transfer a embryo anymore. It is mostly like blastocyst or something else, like more matured. And in this case, like it higher the chances of pregnancy as well, because like you know if they survived after 5 days or not, so you don't have to go through these things. We have done that. I ended up in miscarriage, so miscarrying the baby. So in the end of the, like in the process of development, in one stage the embryo or fetus just stopped developing. So I can't say how helpful is that, but it is again an option. So this prolonged cultivation will cost you around 350 to 600 euros, depending how much you want the observation to be. They have an option when they observe and make like pictures or something like that 4 times during the cycle, during these 5 days, or there is an option when they do like I think 600 or something pictures to have a better understanding what kind of embryo or blastocyst is that. And we chose the other one like for 4, and mostly people are choosing that, and we paid like 350. And after the prolonged cultivation or the normal transfer, you have to pay the transfer yourself, and that will be again around 350, 400, depending from a clinic, maybe 500. So as you understood, these numbers are so different depending where you're coming from, what your therapy will be, like what are your problems as a couple, if you live in Germany, if you don't live in Germany, which clinic you chose, which treatment you got, or which Bundesland is it. This is going to be so different. It's up to your clinic. But I will say for the people who do not live in Germany, or who live in Germany but are not married, or who used up their 3 cycles with the health insurance, I would say the minimum budget to start an Icsi cycle will be 5,000 euros and up. I'm not including here the cryo cycle. Cryo treatment is not probably that expensive, but here as well counts the amount of embryos you produced, and extra procedures like hatching and prolonged cultivation. That will be again extra costs for you. And I would say it will start like the normal basic cycle will start from 5,000 euro, and it will go up, and in some regions I know it will be like more than 10,000 euros. And it is a lot. It's a lot of money for a family. But I know, like in US, it is even more. Like I don't know even how to think it is. Is it good or is it bad? On one side, it's less than in some countries. It's more than in other countries. But 5,000 euros, I would say it is minimum that you are going to pay. One more thing about the test that I think it's very important to know, because I don't know where to include this thing that I want to talk about. Germany does not do all the tests. Like I know that in Czech Republic, in Belgium, and other countries, actually everywhere abroad, there are special tests that are run on the embryos to check on their genetics. And in some countries, the people can even choose the gender and eye color. But Germany does not do any of this. Like I don't care about the gender and I don't care about the eye color. But for me, it would have been very important. Like it is very important procedure to check on the genetics, because not every embryo is healthy and you end up miscarrying it. In our case, we had a genetic problem, and I know if we have done our Icsi treatment in Czech Republic, that embryo would not even be transferred into my body, because they would find out right away that it is not a healthy embryo, and they would just stop the procedure completely. So this is a huge issue here in Germany, but you have to take it into consideration. If you care about the gender, eye color, and different kinds of schnick-schnacks with the embryos, then Germany is not the best option for you. In Germany, you can come if you want a normal treatment and a transfer, yes, but if you want any extra things to know if the baby is going to be healthy or not, or have a Down syndrome, then Germany is not the right country for you. This is something that we will, like, that's why I said in my previous video that this is the last time we're doing in Germany. We didn't plan well, and of course it has to do with budget as well, because in abroad we have to pay everything ourselves, and at this moment it will be too much. That's why we're doing again in Germany. But it is so important for me that this genetic test is very important for me, because I don't want to miscarry it every single time. Like, I don't think it is right. But it is what it is, and I wanted to tell you that as well. I don't know in which video should I include this information. So, but I think it is again an information for you that will be important. That will be important to know, to consider if you really want to do it in Germany or if you prefer abroad. So you guys, I hope I covered everything I could. So you see, it is impossible to give any certain numbers, but at least I tried my best to give you like a little bit understanding how much the things are cost and what you can do with your insurance and what insurance covers. I hope this was useful. Please write me down in comment section if you understood it actually, because I talked so much I don't know even what I said. If you have any questions, please write me down in comment section. I will make another video answering your questions. And if you think that this video is going to help someone, please share this video as well. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!